the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
NDC amanyukuo no egu won aprobo so sanso na NPP amanyukuo no nso egu so a won ebo apro Dr. Mamudu Bawumia ede ne de enam ha na Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh enso ede no ede enam ha won atichem same thing as NDC John Dramani Mahama ye ne de sanso na ye maame Professor Jainana enso ewo ho awoye no ede na eno na Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh ekokopie mu ewo Nkranza Zongo na one mabuno no etwetwen enkomo na eno na ode atu edwa se yebekai a emre bi a etwam two prominent pastors bi ehwere one kwan jajaya ewo Ghana ha ewo abra yanshada ehu die ekun wo na afi some traditionalists bi na won so ewo Ghana ha ya de se won so ehwere one kwan ya yehu die ekun wo not knowing say na NDC amanyukoi na sha ase a won eyi sankofo ifiri hokode kra a obia ante ho asem enne na nokra no a ewom no atimi apie abonten yenko na yenkotie Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh.
Omukwa ne kumasofo akese mienu Ghana ha na fe ba ko odifu asare na fe ba ko brother amwako owo yire wi aketekete omukwa bosofo na drobo okoye HIV adro ye kuni shengura mebo ana owo na sabubu nkamo sore dai oti zongo na tuma NDC obo bebubu wa sore dai oria wa besi mochiri na wu wa ye dai wa kodem Obisi hospital, no Obisi Mochi. Open hospital and Upper Mochi. Open hospital and Upper Mochi. Obama State School, Obama School and Obama State. Obama School and Obama State. Open Kenya and Upper Zoom. Open Kenya and Upper Zoom. Open MPP and NDC. Open MPP and NDC. Open Bawumia.
I haven't
to
heard,
the needs.
I really haven't heard anybody say that apart from the NDC. They have been touting their own, manifesto. Because I'm really yet to hear anybody say that. And it's especially so because really, if you read the manifesto, you realize that they're completely out of touch with the realities of the Ghanaian people.
Completely.
And yes. I mean, you can infer that from even the questions that you legitimately asked. Clearly, this is a group of persons who have sat in a room, put together things that they believe sound like music in the ears of people just for votes. Because if you compare the things they've put in their manifesto against the principles they've been espousing over the years and what they stand for, it's in complete contradiction of what they've been telling the Ghanaians.
You are scrapping e-levy, you are scrapping e-levy. That's no contradiction.
Complete contradiction of what they've been preaching, what they have been preaching over the period. This is a group of persons who were in power. In fact, this is a flag bearer who has been president before. Today, his spokesperson tells us that no Ghanaian child should have admission to school and not be able to go to school. But they were in government. He was president for 4 good years and left 100,000 average of Ghanaian children at home. The biggest challenge of Mahama, His Excellency, and the NDC have is the fact that they would have to account for his presidency within the 4-year period. Forget when he was vice president. Within the 4-year period that we gave him an opportunity. Because everything, in fact, everything you look at in the manifesto, you would have heard him mentioned it either before 2012 or during the 2012 elections. And that is where everybody is concerned. Some say, not just me or you, because you ask very legitimate questions. Millions of Ghanaians are looking at him and saying, where is this man coming from? This is somebody who is all of a sudden talking about how no sick person should be allowed or left to die. The person collapsed the National Health Insurance Scheme. This is somebody and this group of persons who promised us. They basically promised to give us a one-time health premium. Then we voted for them. For 8 years of being in office, they did not even think about the policy. In fact, what some of their leadership told us was the fact that that promise they gave was overambitious. The General Secretary of the NDC today, Fifi Kweti, said that the promise based on which we voted for them was overambitious, and so they could not implement. And this is the same person that has come to us and said, I was president. All the things that I'm seeing today are things that have been in existence in this country. But when you made me president, I didn't do them. Make me president again, and I'll do them for you. Look at this manifesto, Samson. The manifesto is either a recycled promise from his earlier manifesto he presented to us in 2012. When you give us a manifesto, we expect two things. Tell us how you're going to implement the manifesto, which timelines you're going to look at it, and if it's going to transcend beyond your 4 years, of course we should be able to say it. Secondly, give us confidence that you are credible and that you actually do what you say you will do. I look at the former president's manifesto for 2012, and I have it here. And I go through this manifesto and ask myself, how is this man expecting that the Ghanaian persons will make him president again? And I have a list of about 280 promises here. Is here. I can list all of them to you, and you can see it here. Out of the 280 promises he made in 2012, before we made him president, he fulfilled only 77 of them. Only 77 of them, Samson. A whooping 68% of the promises the former president made to the people of this country, before we made him president in the past, he did not fulfill. And so what is news? If the same person comes to you 8 years later and start listing, basically shoplifting things across every space and putting it into a document and listing, what is news about it? You look at some of the things they mentioned, and clearly it tells you why they deliberately sat down for 8 years without putting out their manifesto until Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia put the manifesto. Clearly, places where we say we'll do one, they say we'll do two. They simply waited. When we say we'll do two, they say they will do three. Places we say we'll do black, they will do white. In some of the instances, they simply went into a manifesto and lifted everything and put into their manifesto. And that is where you see a lot of incoherence in the things that they put out. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is very clear. His manifesto is simply consolidating what it is that we have achieved as a country and fixing what is outstanding. And that is what an upgrade does. Something. Anybody that understands technology, understands reset, will tell you that when you are resetting, you have two options. Reset to factory settings, which basically is wiping everything off to zero, or resetting to a particular period, depending on when you backed up. I hope you're following. That is what it is. You are resetting to a particular period, depending on when you backed up. Now, for these guys not to hoodwink us and mislead us, one of the things that is missing, which they need to tell us that we can interrogate correctly, is where are you resetting us to? And clearly when I listen to Sami, all I hear is they are resetting us to factory settings. Because he made a very important point. He says that when you have a broken system, you wipe everything and start afresh. That is not what Ghana needs. The Ghana today that under your tenure slept in darkness for 4 to 5 years now has power. We don't need to reset our energy sector. The energy sector is thriving. The Ghana today that you left 100,000 children every year on the street now are in school. You didn't need to reset the education sector because the children are in school. The Ghana that you left, the poor person's children in colleges of education and nursing, that you said if you're going to lose an elections by simply not restoring the allowances that you will lose, they are now in school. They are receiving their allowances. You don't have to reset that Ghana that we are enjoying now. The Ghana today, where we could not even identify our citizens and take care of them properly, today has a properly synchronized national identification system that is synced to almost every touch point you can think of, and we are ready to leap into the future. It doesn't need a reset. It needs a consolidation, and it needs an upgrade. And so when you come and tell the people that I was president before, I denied all of you children from going to senior high school education, but forget the fact that I said I would not implement free senior high school on the whimsical promises of a desperate politician. Forget the fact that I said I will not implement free senior high school. I will not spend 2 billion cedis on free senior high school. Today, I was against free senior high school. I always said that when it comes to free senior high school, some people should pay and others should not pay. All of a sudden, come to university. If you qualify to the university, I will pay for university education for free. And that is a contradiction you sought to put out. You know what is critical about Manifesto, Sam said? It is not just you putting things into a document. It is about who is behind it and the credibility of the individual, the sincerity of the individual, the honesty of the individual. God being so good for the people of this country, we've had an opportunity to experience this individual. Of all the candidates who are running for this election, it is only the former president who has been president before. And so we can tell clearly, today we have his scorecard is here as to whether he's a man who sticks to his words as to whether he's a man who says what he will do based on manifestos. This is the list of his manifestos from 2012, after which we made him president, and this is how much he failed. Completely failed to deliver on these promises to the people of this country. Now, Samson, think about this. You leave me at home without education, secondary school, so I drop out. You are saying that if I hustle to go through it, if I struggle to go through it and I come to the university, all of a sudden, you found money to pay for me. Do you know what is happening? And I'll tell you, I'll give you a quick background to the NDC.
Is that not an upgrade of what you have done?
But they said they want to reset. The upgrade is ours, not yours. And that's what we are talking about.
No, you are just
upgrade.
saying that doesn't...
No, it doesn't match for you. We believe in possibilities. I actually think that we are going to get to the point where every single student in any tertiary university will be paid for free. Because there is no greater investment as a country than to invest in education and health for your people. I believe in that. And so we speak of upgrade because we believe that free SHS should be kept and should not be reset. And that what you should do at the tertiary level is to make the student loan trust scheme much more accessible to the people when they need it and they can pay for the education. But let me give you this quick background. It is important that the people begin to see into the psyche and the principles of the NDC, and it will settle all this manifesto conversation. The NDC has this record. In the year 2003, when President Kufuor was going to pass the National Health Insurance Scheme, this is what happened. They did exactly what they are doing to the Free Senior High School and the 2024 elections. National Health Insurance Scheme doesn't make sense. We are not there yet. We are not going to allow you to introduce any tax to pay for health insurance. They actually boycott the passage of the National Health Insurance Act in Parliament. Then they left office. Then they left Parliament. Now President Kufuor implements the National Health Insurance Scheme. Fast forward, challenges, difficulties. President Kufuor upgrades it at a point, and that's what upgrades means. At the point he upgrades it, it becomes national issues, national health insurance card. Now you can use your card anywhere you are, wherever you find yourselves. Then in the year 2008, we are going for an election. The NDC now realizes that, listen, we lost the 2004 elections abysmally because the people of this country hooked onto the National Health Insurance Scheme and are holding it dear to their hearts. We cannot continue to denigrate this policy. So what we want to do now is let's latch onto it and hold onto it and pretend as if we love the National Health Insurance Scheme. So they put everything aside and they did two things. They started calling President Kufuor and his government all manner of names. They are corrupt, they are thieves, they've stolen all the gold from Bank of Ghana, they've stolen President Kufuor is an immoral man, all manner of things. Then they added one thing. Dear people of Ghana, we do not believe in National Health Insurance Scheme. We spoke against it. We said it wasn't possible. Here we are. Vote for us. These people who introduced National Health Insurance Scheme, they don't even know what they are doing. They brought it, but they can't do it like we can. We are going to give you a one-time health insurance premium. Vote against them and vote for us. So that the health insurance that they brought, they are unable to do it well, and we will make it better for you. And then do you know what happened? The people had no choice. They had experienced health insurance. They've seen how much lives it can change and how much lives it can save. Now they feel, well, we need an upgrade of this NHIA. So the NDC, please.
You have gone over that. You have gone over that. That they promised one-time premium, they couldn't do it.
Let me land. The NDC now says they will give us a one-time premium. Let's vote for them. Then they voted for the NDC. And kicked out. No, Samson, let me.
There are a number of things.
Let me land. I'll land.
I can't let you speak without checking the things you're talking about.
But let me land my scenario.
Okay.
Let me land on my scenario. You can ask me the questions. Now, fast forward. They come into office. First tenor. They didn't introduce one-time health premium. The people are clamoring for it. They said, we beg you, give us time. We'll do it in our second term.
I said that's the point you have made.
No, I haven't made that point.
You've made...
I haven't. Let me land. Then the second term comes. Now, 2 months to elections in 2016. They are asked, you promised us national health insurance. Where is it? Then they start saying, it wasn't realistic. It wasn't feasible. The General Secretary spoke. Mutaka spoke. All manner of things about health insurance. But the people had already gotten their hands tied. It was too late for the people of Ghana to roll back the mess we have put ourselves into. Look at the scenario now. Similar scenario. Speak against free education. It is not possible. Leo Kran, the education minister, and the NDC says that if free SHS was possible, Nkrumah would have done it. The Soviet Union would have done it. It is not something that can be done. Mahama denigrates it, speaks against it, insults parents, insults teachers, insults students of Free Senior High School. They pass exams. He calls them thieves and all manner of things. Now we have 6 months to elections. They have realized that even to date something, if you go to the streets and talk to the people of this country about one of the biggest policies they've experienced in the history of this country, they will mention free SHS. Now they realize that, but for free SHS, they would have had a headway. Now we need to find a way to align ourselves with the free SHS policy. So all of a sudden, they go and sit in a room, put on a sheet of paper all the things they said against free SHS no longer matter.
So let's do
and then they say that, no, Outland, they say that we are now going to hold on to the free SHS that we said wasn't good and that it was destroying the quality of this country's education. The free SHS, we said that we should not be paying for everybody and that some people should be paying. All of a sudden, we'll keep it and we'll protect it. And then in order for you to even be more happier and vote for us, don't worry. When your children go through the free SHS that we don't believe in, we are going to pay for their fees. Now, the Ghanaian people ask them, but you said that the free SHS, not everybody should pay, and that there are some rich people who can pay. Why don't you do it at the university? Don't worry. The university there will pay for everybody. But the free senior high school level, we think that some people should pay. The level of dishonesty, the level of insincerity, the lack of credibility and integrity on the part of the leader is what is going to determine the success of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or former President Mahmoud.
Now let's check you on a few things. You say that they have copied your manifesto, and in some points it is lifting.
Let me put it on record on this show before I leave here, and this should be probably the last time we'll ever go through this, because I've gone through this with you before. The new Patriotic Party introduced National Health Insurance Scheme. The NDC opposed it. The new Patriotic Party made the National Health Insurance Scheme universal and national. That is without doubt and question.
I'll stop you when your time is up.
Is ended. As a matter of fact, I'll read from the 2009 budget statement read by the NDC.
But I just read
titled,
that.
no, I'll repeat it. Investing in a better Ghana. And this is what the NDC said. Paragraph 731. Madam Speaker, the National Health Insurance Authority introduced a new diagnostic-related groupings and tariffs in April 2008 throughout the country. The new universal ID card, which was to replace the expiring scheme-specific district mutual health insurance scheme cards, began in September 2008. These are not my words. These are the words of the NDC finance minister in parliament in 2009. You see, this gentleman has consistently been lying and lying about so many things in this country. He's done it for so long. He does it without grinching.
So you won't listen when I say don't use such personal attacks.
And then he comes back, has the effrontery to call the vice president of the Republic of Ghana names and call him a liar. And he goes back to his bureau, sits down with his group, and they orchestrate scheming the algorithms online to actually plant and make the vice president of the Republic of Ghana a liar. This is the person. But he sits on TV and lies without even blinking. And he fabricates stories. And I think sometimes he's not speaking to us. I think usually he's speaking to his followers. He speaks to them, they cut videos, put it online, then it excites him. But my job, there's a reason why I'm called the Gen Z's president, is to fact check you. And so let's put it on record. He lied. Completely lied when he said they introduced National Health Insurance Scheme. That is a falsehood. And I've quoted their own budget statement to buttress the point. Now, you don't call the vice president a liar when you have no basis. And then you ask him, what makes the vice president a liar? Then he says he will build Cape Coast Airport he hasn't built. And so he's a liar. I have just showed you 280 promises made by the president of the Republic of Ghana in 2012. John Mahama, His Excellency, that as president he was going to fulfill these things. Out of the 280, he did not do 191 of them. Have you heard us call him a liar? I am very hesitant in calling the former president names because I'm an Ekuapem guy. But I take complete exception from him and his followers by the consistent denigration of the vice president of the Republic without provocation. The former president is here completely failing to fulfill his promises. Doesn't make him a liar. The fact that you make a promise in a manifesto